Welcome, gentle friends, one and all. My name is Peter Candidate Hartnell, here to bring you the Red December Cup number 2. We are close to the end of another one of our big weekends for Modern Combat 5. We've already had one monthly finals in which Destiny Red took home the bacon for themselves, beating out Victory of Lords in the grand finals. A fantastic showing. For now, though, we are in the middle of the December season. So each of these teams will be playing today for a chance to get into the December finals a little way down the line and win themselves a big old pile of cash. For now, though, let's take a look at who we've got playing today. We have 7 teams taking part in today's competition. So we'll have Great Clan coming in as our number 1 seed, who will be getting a bye through to the semi-finals. Representing Italy, Destiny X. Representing Switzerland will be going up against, oh my god, who I think are, I want to say Honduras. Let's have a quick check. It is Honduras. Hooray, I remember the flag. We will be having Sicko Mode versus Paragon, who will be our feature match to start things off. Hopefully all players will show up. And the Lead Tryouts versus Victory of Lords will be our last quarter-finals. So we'll be getting through the giveaways quite quickly today. Hopefully everything will be okay with this first game. I might see if we can get a different feature match actually, since I think some of the players... I chose new teams for our feature match today, just because I was kind of hoping to get some new blood on stream. But new teams do tend to have more variable attendance records. So sorry about that, guys. But there are plenty of good matches in the first round, so we'll see if we can find something else. Or if not, we can always just have a community game. So yes, as Hunter is saying in the chat, anyone who's just kind of coming by for the first time today and is wondering what the heck is going on. So this is a tournament in a big series of other tournaments that is going on, playing, as you might be able to guess from the stream title, Modern Combat 5 in a best of 3 environment. Okay, just for the sake of getting us into our first game, what I'm going to do is we're going to pop across to the Lead Tryouts versus Victory of Lords team. So Victory of Lords are finalists from the monthly finals yesterday, and we're going to be visiting with them again because our feature match I don't think is quite ready, so I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much. Let's see, but I believe this lobby is all good. So yes, let me just go further with my explanation. So teams will be playing in best of 3 competition on the Modern Combat 5 mobile first person shooter in order to get through to our grand finals, and whichever team wins will get to split €100 amongst themselves. Also, there will be monthly finals that the teams will be able to earn their way into by consistently performing well in the weekly tournaments. I think that kind of covers most of the stuff. We will have ourselves a giveaways all the way through the stream today, so just little credit prizes you can win by following the instructions that will be posted out into the chat. So there is a giveaway on Twitch at the moment. Mr. Gamehouse, you came across from the YouTube stream. So if you head across to twitch.tv/moderncombat and enter in hashtag RO16, when this first game is done, we will choose someone who has entered in that hashtag to be the recipient of, a little bundle of credits just to say thank you for watching. For now, though, I believe we will have our first game in just a second. I'm just going to bang through a little bit more volume, making sure everything is as audible as possible. So yes, guys, let me know if there's any volumes that need adjusting, because we're switching off the music, and we're getting into the only kind of music that we really need, which is the sound of gunfire. For any of you guys who are watching for the first time this weekend, we have now got overtime as part of the map rotation. So future ESL tournaments, including this one and all other ones this weekend, are played on this new/old map that people were asking to have returned back to the game for a long time. So Overtime used to be in the game, got taken out, now it's been put back in again, and this weekend, the significant change being that it has gone from being not used in ESL tournaments to finally being used. So we're kind of back where we started with. We took a very long way around. But these teams will not have that much experience playing on this map. And we've seen already over the course of this weekend teams varying in their ability to adapt to the very different style of Overtime from any of our different maps in our map pool. So far though, looking pretty even. The lead tryout's doing pretty well. In the early going against our monthly finalists of Victory of Lords team. So just to touch a little bit more on those monthly finals. So each of these weekly tournaments allow teams from a variety of regions to take part. They're kind of sort of divided in half between red and blue weekly tournaments. And those weekly tournaments lead on to the monthlies, which have a 5 times as big prize pool. So, yeah, that's kind of what the guys are doing in this. They play for the ability to call themselves the best, but also want to make sure they are well rewarded for their troubles. So, as much as I said things were even in the early going, that has changed quite dramatically thanks to the Catface one, Uno. Rocking the Commander class with a shield on back, but that Severance shotgun, most of the time, it's going to be out in front as Uno runs into 2, does get flanked around, so the Commander also a relatively recent addition to ESL competition, much like, not quite as recent as Overtime is, but still, you know, historically, one of the newer classes, but also wasn't used in ESL for a while. We're seeing Vol making use of it here, so Commander having that extremely tough to penetrate shield, but very vulnerable to being flanked around. As you see there, Uno chucking down an armor pack. One of the side perks of a Commander is the ability to give armor out to your friendos. And, you know, who doesn't love giving armor to people? Basically just like a bunch of extra health, which is not at all shabby. Uno down to minimal health. We'll have backup from the rest of the Lords to make sure of that, but still regenerating and will get sniped out. We can see Founcy here rocking the ERG sniper rifle on the Bounty Hunter class. One of the most popular weapons at the moment because it's one of the strongest sniper rifles, has that one-shot kill capability. But it's not the only one that does. So you saw L. Steve there using the BSW, a bolt-action sniper rifle that also, if you hit in the right place at the right time, can deliver a very harsh lesson. Alright, 3:30 left to play. The lead tryouts, they started out so very well, but things have gone fairly badly, fairly quickly. Victory of Lords looking to put this one to bed in a most swift and edifying fashion. Founcy, certainly the standout player from the Victory of Lords squad that time round, but we'll take a quick look through that scoreboard to see if we can spot any other friends who might be worthy of it. We can see there Uno on the side hiding behind his shield. Certainly worked out pretty well, so yes, Uno and Founcy, and Cheeto down at the bottom there. You know, hiding a little bit because of that score not being so high, but that's a very good kill-death ratio. How score tends to work is you get score for assists and other various different things, so Founcy, you know, got a lot of kills, but I think they also helped out a lot. We don't have a specific assist stat, but maybe we should do. Alrighty, alright. So, the details of the Twitch giveaway are up on the screen as we will get ourselves ready for our second encounter between the lead tryout squads and the Victory of Lords team. Stay tuned, guys. We shall return in 7 minutes or less. Alright guys, sorry about the delay there. Looks like the lead triad team were having a few player issues and they may have had to swap somebody out. Victory of Lords looking extremely strong in our first game of the day. Can they continue to be dominant as we head on to Vantage? Victory of Lords now in the blue. Lead triad squad rocking the red. And the Leads do get their first kill and the second, a courtesy of Steve and Hank. I love these guys' usernames. Don't see many people. I don't know if they actually are their names, or if they just think they sound fun. Because if they think that, they are correct. Fancy taking themselves out with a grenade means we're seeing a lot more even than things were before. So in the early going, Hank and Steve doing a pretty good job. With Hank taking out Fancy, as we remember from the previous game. Extremely strong player. Steve doing some good work from long range. Oh, I was going to say, I think almost dodged out that grenade. But in fact, was grenaded and shot with a sniper rifle at the same time from extreme range. There are definitely some points on the map where you're more vulnerable to a sniper heavy team. And oh boy. Much like last time round, the lead triad squad were able to hold fast against the French Victory of Lords team in the early going. But once it got later on, things started to get a lot more brutal. That seems to be the case here as Revenge goes upstairs, drops down that imp damage, and forces out yet another kill. Revenge and Cheeto competing for the title of most kills in this game, but with Casa, maybe puts a little bit of spoiler into play for that one. Revenge, though, quick to return. Let's see, who we got playing it today? So, notably, we don't have Stress, unless they're playing under another account name, playing it for the Victory of Lords team, the Victory of Lords leader and El Capitan. And I don't think I even mentioned it verbally as of yet, but if you catch Citru, Citru is our ESL admin for today, so please say kind words and send good wishes their way, because without Citru's hard work behind the scenes, none of this would be possible. Victory of Lords look like with a doubling of the score of the lead triad seems to be putting this one to bed as quickly as possible. Steve doing a pretty good job for the side of the lead tryouts, but when you're dealing with players who have got ludicrous scores like 31, man, Cheeto, just nightmarish. Insta-giving pretty much everybody who comes through. Oh boy, I see you guys are sad in the chat. Well, I'll have to talk to you between games. Certainly this one's looking like a pretty set result already. Hank gonna hit the bench for the lead triad squad as Victory of Lords put the finishing touches to a cavalcade of carnage. Again, more than doubling the score of the lead triad squad. There's still been some good scores in there, Steve, in an extremely difficult game for the lead triads, performing very well. I don't know who was the triads and who were the veterans on the team because they tend to mix them, but not enough to stand up to our monthly finalists, the Victory of Lords squad. Anubis armor. Interesting. People normally go for the werewolf. But there we go. So Cheeto, our #1 banana from that last game. And as far as our Twitch giveaway goes, our Twitch winner will be... Let's see. Mr. Gamehouse. So, Mr. Gamehouse, please post your dog tag and platform. So, all your dog tags are platform dependent. So that's why we need to know both of them in order to be able to find you and give you a little gift. They do take a little while to come through, 2 to 3 weeks or so. So, it's the kind of thing it's probably best to kind of forget about, and then suddenly you're just going to get a bunch of credits through. And isn't that a nice thing to get for Christmas? Which, because we have now got ourselves a Twitch giveaway winner, we'll be moving on to Facebook for our second giveaway. So if you are over on facebook.com/modern combat, find the current video and enter in hashtag quarter to the Facebook comments to enter in. Then we will be doing that giveaway relatively soon as well. Details up on the screen. For now though, let me just let Citru know. And we're going to get set up for a game. So Vicky, I know you were asking me about a giveaway you entered. I'm afraid I don't have a lot of control over that because it's, from what I can tell, it's not even a Gameloft giveaway. It's another YouTuber's. So I don't know. I mean, I guess you could talk to Radu, the community manager, about it, but I'm afraid I have no influence whatsoever over certainly anybody else's YouTube channel or the giveaways that they run. Radu might be able to offer an opinion, but I'm afraid I don't know. It's completely outside of my area of expertise, which I have to admit is limited to things that go on directly on stream. For now though, while we've got a break going on, or we will have a break going on at least, if you guys would like to play on stream during that break, then please use the passkey ESL123. Also, as Vicky just brought up, today is the last day of the art competition, so let me just throw it up on the screen for a bit. So, by the end of today, if you can put together a Modern Combat 5 armor set in the form of some sort of drawing, then you too could potentially be winning pretty nice prizes. So there's already some pretty good stuff if you look on Instagram under the hashtag MC5 fan art, but you know, no, it's not necessarily about the one that's the best drawn. It's about the person who comes up with the best idea. If you look for the rules for the giveaway, the top 3 that will get voted on by the public are chosen by a panel of judges, and one of their criteria is, does it fit in with the existing Modern Combat 5 style? Admittedly, the Modern Combat 5 style is quite broad if you look at a few of the different kinds of armors, but still, even if someone does something that looks amazing, I suspect if it's too similar to the pre-existing armors, they probably won't use it because it's just kind of a bit eh. If it just looks like, you know, another set of armor, and I suspect a lot of people have probably made stuff that looks very similar to existing armor. And if it's too weird, then they probably won't use it either. So you kind of hit a good point where it's unique enough to be notable, but not so unique that they won't want to use it because it just looks weird as all heck. I don't know about what tier the armor's going to be if it gets used. I hope it's tier 3 so we can use it in ESL competition. But I'm afraid I have no idea. Alright, if we can get a couple of people on each team, I'll get this one started just to make sure we've got something on stream. During the break, got a couple of people in the spectate who apparently want to come and join with me. There we go. Oh cool, we've got some of the lead team from last time round joining in. So that should be fun. Alright. So let's get going. So we will be on break for the next few minutes while this game plays out on stream. So stay tuned, and we shall return with ESL competition after this game. Alright guys, welcome back. I was hoping we could maybe sneak into another ESL game, but I think we are caught in between all at the moment. So Great Clan are going up against Destiny as we speak, and Victory of Lords are waiting on the winner of Paragon versus Sicko Mode. So you can see on screen our Facebook giveaway remains in place, but let's get ourselves set up with a custom game. Let's go for a free-for-all on overtime, just because I feel like we got to get that out on screen on stream and make sure you guys get nice and used to it, because it's going to be featuring in the ESL competition relatively heavily from here on out. Sharon Paul, can you add Team Battle and Battle Royale or vehicles or RPGs in Battle Royale? I'm not a developer, so I can't speak to exactly what they're doing, but it's something that's in active development. Last I heard, I think they weren't intending to include vehicles just because Modern Combat 5 doesn't have vehicles as it stands. So I think it would be a big thing for them to add something like that. But I strongly suspect they'll be adding in, definitely squad. Being able to play it as a squad, I'm thinking is almost a certainty. And I imagine the map and all of the kind of mechanics in the game will get better. I'd imagine, but I don't speak for Gameloft. I'm only speaking for myself. But I would imagine that Gameloft would be looking to try and have their Battle Royale mode have the same kind of functionality you would see in other instances of the genre. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Oh, hey, Hank MC5, I remember you from before. Oh, let me just check a second. Oh, well, actually, hold off, phone. We won't be going for this particular game because we have actually got our next ESL match ready between Great Clan and Destiny X. That should be a fantastic series. So, hold tight for a minute, guys, while I get that one sorted out, and we shall return. A fantastic semi-final awaits at the end of this countdown. Alright, sorry about that. I was under the impression the teams were ready, but I think they've actually ended up going for a break, which is a little unexpected. So instead of just sitting around, why don't you find yourself with a place at the hearth? Come and join ESL 123, the passkey, the contrasenya. All you need to get in and play on stream while we wait for the arrival of our next teams, which I believe are aiming to be ready in about 7 minutes time, so we might be able to get at least some of this free-for-all on stream, though of course, once you join, you can carry on playing all the way towards the end. It just means that we won't be able to show necessarily all of it at the same time. So, Hank and, was it Frank? Frank and Hank? I can't remember. Well, Hank and the rest of the lads squad. That's right, Hank and Steve. Oh, interesting. So there is a night mode already. I haven't seen that particular one. Big Gorilla. I'll have to ask about that. I'll add that to my list of things to ask. So, meeting notes. Night mode being asked about. Okay, Vicky. That's good news. You can report hackers. I know from being on the, that they are Game Loft are actively putting resources into attacking hackers. From my understanding, they've got several staff members who are specifically tasked with dealing with them. So, as much as it may not be dealt with immediately, Game Loft are definitely putting the resources into it. So, Sicko Mode versus Victory of Lords, I believe, will be our next game. So, sorry about the confusion there, but hopefully we'll be able to get you an official ESL game. So, this will be going on at the same time as Great Clan versus Destiny X, a semi-final encounter. We also will be drawing the Facebook giveaway to a close relatively soon, so please do get in your hashtag quarters on the facebook.com/modern combat current video, and then hopefully you too can be a winner. Sorry about that. I think we are going to be... Yes, we will in fact be getting our passkey in just a second. So we'll have to leave you guys to enjoy this free-for-all off stream, because we have got business to attend to. So, Sicko Mode. Beating out Paragon 2-0 in the first round, much as Victory of Lords did to the lead tryout team. In that first game, the Victory of Lords team looked extremely strong. But we'll have to, we'll have to see how that one ends out. So let's just jump into lobby. Got the passkey. Hopefully the players will all be ready to go straight away. If not, then we shall await their arrival. Looks like they're not quite ready as of yet. I'm just going to double check on our passkey to make sure that we're not going to the wrong place. I wasn't, personally I wasn't aware of this dark mode, well, say even a potential somewhat dark mode. There we go, the lobby is up. So we'll be jumping in just a second. Yeah, so Victory of Lords did fantastically in the last encounter. We'll have to see if our new opponents for them, Sicko Mode, who we're just going to change over right now, have any better luck than the Lead tryout team. Still, the Leads did pretty reasonably, considering they were up against one of our top MC5 teams. Now, they had several members who were able to pull off some decent scores, which is always tough to do when your team is losing in a game, because you have that much less opportunity. So go in. Looks like the players are getting ready, so we'll just hang out. And yeah, as soon as the players are ready to go, we shall return and get our first semi-final of the day underway. Alright, welcome back, gentle friends, one and all. Sicko Mode versus Victory of Lords is here. Our semi-final game 1 on Vantage. Kizaru, well invested with the power of the ERG. That sniper rifle more than able, ready, willing, and capable of delivering punishment to the enemies of the Sickos. Victory of Lords looking strong so far, but if Cheeto takes themselves out with one of these many flying grenades, then that's going to put Sicko in the lead and maybe give Victory of Lords a moment of hesitation. Cheeto goes around the wall, picks up a return. So one of the reasons why people are getting taken out by their own grenades at this point is because we're going for a lot of what would be called in other games wall or floor bang. You see the floor exploding there? That's not necessarily just grenades people are throwing across from on the same level, but people below this raised area will throw grenades with the intention of having them explode in the floor, and that explosion will reach through the floor and hit people above, which is sometimes a very good strategy, and other times not quite so much, especially if you stand a little bit close to your work yourself. It's much easier to throw a grenade directly upwards, but that also means you will be directly below it, and sometimes people don't quite calculate that out correctly. For now though, Sicko Mode a little bit way behind, but Exad, doing a nice job with that ERG. Will spot Founcy coming out there, will have backup in the form of Revenge, but Revenge will too get cut down. We saw Founcy in the chat before. I know, yeah, it's Hunter talking about the Slack, the secondary weapon for the heavy. Start to get a lot more of those in ESL competition. Not seeing so many today, as Exad doing a nice job of providing cover for the rest of the Sicko squad. Very close game. And the fire rate on the ERG, pretty powerful. I believe it only needs one shot to take out most targets. Game shop. Welcome from France. We are seeing the French Victory of Lords team doing pretty darn well for themselves at the moment. Oh, let me see if I can just get the camera fixed. There we go. We've got Team Captain Stress joining the ranks for the semi-finals. Wasn't part of the quarters. I think perhaps trialing out some new members. A lot of these top teams, because they're playing potentially multiple times a weekend, need to have a pretty deep roster to make sure that they can take part in every competition. The way that these weekly tournaments work is you get a lot of qualifying points for the monthly finals by just taking part every single week. But, people don't necessarily have the time to do so on a consistent basis. But for the Victory of Lords squad, they are a very consistent team who've been around for an enormous amount of time and have practiced themselves up towards the top of the table. Breaking now away from Sicko Mode. Let's check back in with Exad, who was one of the stronger performing members, but Kevin has overtaken, and Exad goes down again. The Victory of Lords squad look to be set themselves with a pretty good move towards that first semi-final win. We will be drawing our Facebook giveaway winner immediately following this match, irrespective of who wins or loses. Right now though, Victory Lords looking pretty strong despite a otherwise solid performance from the Sicko Mode squad, who do win out the last exchange pretty heavily. The Cobra, Darren, is there and lurking. Not having the strongest game so far, but every time they die they come back with 3 more grenades. And those kind of grenades can make a mess of things. Kizaru coming in from the side will trade across, but Sicko Mode, they cannot afford to trade with the score this close, but also this close to the end of the game. 50 kill limit will be repeated. Bonjour, mes amis. If I'm getting that correctly. Yeah, Sicko Mode, wow, they won out the last trade heavily, have almost equalized going towards the last part of this game. Sicko Mode now in the lead. Victory Lords perhaps getting a little bit too comfortable in the last section of the game, now having to fight from behind with one team fight. Gonna turn it one way or the other. Revenge lurking. But who's the big player? It is going to be Team Captain Stress, leading by example. Every kill going to be very important as XR picks off Founcy, one of the stronger members of the Victory Lord squad, which will send the VOL team scattering. They're able to bring the numbers to bear on Kizaru, but Darren gets a pick off as well. Victory of Lords, they know they have to make this next engage count because Sicko Mode are very close to making an amazing comeback and taking this game. Kizaru ready on the flank as it has been all time. This next fight is going to determine it. Lots of time left on the clock, but not so much kills. While Kizaru takes the worst of that engage, falls back, tries to return the favor, takes out Revenge. Disaster for the Vol team as Kizaru moves across, takes a knife to the eye. But the rest of the Victory Lords squad are away, and Sosa picks off Founcy. Sicko Mode take down our monthly finalists, the Victory of Lords, and give themselves a very good chance of making it to the finals here today. So, on Facebook, our winner will be, I don't even know if I can even pronounce the person's name, Husian Huso Bass. You have been tagged, so hopefully you will see that one coming. We will be moving on to Mob Crush for our next giveaway. Hashtag Semi over on mobcrush.com/Modern Combat. That's a mobile streaming site. Let's sit through. Know what's up. So we've already had our Twitch winners, we've already had our Facebook winners, so Mob Crush, next place to head to. I would definitely recommend it, even if you guys don't have an account over there at the moment. A very similar sort of situation to Twitch. If you make an account and make a comment, it's one of the best places to be able to win. For now though, stay tuned. We shall return with the next match of our semi-finals. Victory of Lords, a shocking takedown by Sicko Mode, but can the Sickos do it again? We shall find out after the break. Welcome back one and all. Our semi-final continues. Sicko Mode with a surprising Game 1 victory over the Victory of Lords squad, who were ahead of them for the vast majority of the match. The Sicko Mode surprising, getting that one win, and now one win away from moving up into the grand finals. Would be pretty big shocker if Victory of Lords get knocked out here, but hey, it's one of the things that keeps all this stuff fresh, is that we never know exactly who's going to win. Great Clan versus Destiny going on at the moment. Much the same. That other semi-final will determine the other grand finals placing as Victory of Lords charge in. Do take the lead off that last one. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more commanders on overtime because of the amount of corridor fighting there is. And if you can block off with the shield without being flanked, a lot more effective. In the more open maps, people will just go around you, but in this case, no alternative but to go through. As the Big Gorilla said, all of the people playing here today just started off as friends who decided to take part in ESL competition. Anybody can. Just form up a team on the ESL website. And yeah, you'll get to play in these self-same tournaments. Might even get to play on stream. We try and feature new teams as and where we can. Just because, you know, while there's a lot of established teams, it's the new life bug coming into the scene that keeps it alive. So please do come be part of that. And yeah, as your team develops over the many weeks, perhaps we will again see you in the monthly finals as well. Big Gorilla, thank you for your explanation. So yes, this is all run by ESL, our admin for today being Citru. The Victory of Lords squad suddenly building themselves a pretty heavy lead in the early going. Cheeto, by a small margin, managed to get the most kills on the team, but the Victory of Lords squad as a whole looking pretty good, as Uno will fall victim to Kizaru, but not before getting a kill of their own. Victory of Lords now ahead by 7. But Kizaru, coming back from a tough early game, does manage to lock down a fair chunk of kills. Victory of Lords, again, they were ahead forever in the first game, but I think maybe just taking off the pressure from the Sicko Mode score was enough to allow them back into the game. Founcy with a nice delivery of pain. We're talking about the heavy in last match. Again, with a lot of confined spaces on this map, the slack, the grenade launcher almost impossible to avoid, as well as I almost consider the shotgun for the heavy to be a backup weapon because it's not as insta-death as the slack will be. But certainly, once you get into close range, able to spread those shots around. So good if you're not so strong at aiming like me, but also if you can hit all of those shots, you are delivering a whole heap of damage. However, Sicko Mode managed to repulse the Victory of Lords aggression and hold on to their place. As, oh boy, the Victory of Lords team having a mass disconnect there. This could spell massive trouble. I don't know if they're all on the same internet connection and just having issues there. So while the Victory of Lords team are ahead, they are now down to a mere 2 members. I don't know what's happened. If the team captain stress is still there, and I think that's Cheeto who will be coming in. So 2 strong performing members of the Victory of Lords squad, but it would be a heartbreaker for this to be determined by technical issues. You hear the tinkle of the grenade coming around the corner as the charge comes in. Sicko Mode. If this was later in the game, Victory of Lords being only 2 members means that they could potentially stay in the lead by just hiding from the Sicko Mode squad, but I don't think that's going to be an option for 2.5 minutes. Victory of Lords either need to get their players back, or they need to do the most impressive game of hide and seek ever imagined. So for any of you guys who are thinking about joining in on future weeks' competition, do head across to the ESL Discord where you can join up with a team. And yeah, maybe this next week can be used. Sicko Mode are a new team coming into this one. Well, they do have some veteran players. They've got a lot of new faces as well. And, you know, even if the circumstances aren't necessarily the most effective, or the most conventional, I suppose, maybe the best way to say it, Victory of Lords here are in danger of being taken down. With that last pick off, it will put Victory of Lords in a slightly more comfortable position as Stress gets a kill as well. So Victory of Lords, you'll notice we're not seeing them coming back in very quickly. So normally players would look to respawn as fast as possible. It looks like the Victory of Lords squad are going to try and run that clock down by respawning as slowly as they can, which is a risky strategy because they're only ahead by a single kill, and a bomber coming in now as well. Victory Lords, if they drop another kill here, the fact they've run down the clock could turn against them. Sicko Mode now in pursuit. Grenades ramming. Sicko Mode going to be coming in from the side. No, I think they're underneath the Victory of Lords squad. Shot onto Darren. Cheeto trades it back. 1 minute left to play. Dropping it in from the skies. Sicko Mode making full use of their numbers to attack from multiple angles at once. Beautifully done. I don't think I've seen that happen before. But this is a pretty unique situation. So, if the score remains 42-42, we'll go to sudden death. Not a situation Victory of Lords want to be in, down as many members as they are. But if Victory of Lords can snipe off a kill at the last possible moment, then maybe, just maybe, they can sneak their way into a Game 3. But yes, Citra, our admin for today, has put together a very nice sign-up guide for the ESL competition. Man, we are getting down to the wire here. So Vol need to get a kill here, or if they don't, then it's going to go to sudden death, and this is not favoured for the Victory Lords team. Cheeto hiding, Stress as well, spots the target coming in but does not land it. Disaster for Victory of Lords, who now have to go 2 versus 5. If Stress could have landed that last kill on that flying opponent, Victory Lords would have moved through, but instead, now it's 1 versus 4 as SAD goes down. Cheeto can't stand, and Sicko Mode will be going through to the finals. Oh boy, what a semi. Victory Lords deploying these kind of out-of-game strategies, but ultimately it was all down to that one play. Sicko Mode did a fantastic job of coordinating their assault, and they will be rewarded with a place in our finals. Kevin, Sosa, all doing, well, both of those guys really doing well for the side of Sicko. And while Cheeto and Stress did their best, ultimately it's going to be technical issues that put them in the dirt. For now, let's get ourselves a break game so you guys can be featured on stream during our inter-match break. So as always, use the passkey ESL123. And I'll set the game up now in Museum. To be able to play during the break. I will also throw out the global chat invites as always. So please, come and join us. Have a grand old time. Alright, give me a second. I'm just going to do a quick game restart. So sometimes it gets a little wonky. And we'll have things back up in a second. As Big Gorilla says, congratulations to Sicko. A surprising outcome to the last game, but ultimately, you take your opportunities where you can. And while I definitely will be looking forward to seeing a 5-on-5 rematch between the Victory of Lords team and Sicko, that first game was decided under more regular circumstances, if we put it that way. But we'll be keeping our eyes out for another encounter between these two. I know Victory of Lords are going to be smarting after that last one and looking for a chance to prove themselves again. Zahan Gaming, welcome to the stream. Right, here is our break game lobby. So please do come and join us for a grand old time. Ah, Big Gorilla themselves. Coming to the streamed break game. Ah, okay. This is an unusual situation. Just having a conversation with Citru, our admin, today to see if there might be a different outcome than we had otherwise expected. Arthur Hand Gaming, you're awful kind to say so. So, hold fast. I don't know if we're going to be maybe seeing something different. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys play this one out. I'm just going to help out our good friend Citru to try and figure out this whole situation. So, guys, stay tuned. We shall return with our next ESL game after the break. Alright guys, so because I think we're going to fairly soon have ourselves a rematch of the preceding semi-finals, from what I understand. What we're going to do to just kill a little bit of time, but also give us the ability to leave at any point, is to go forward and do a little bit of Battle Royale action. So if any of you guys want to play with me on stream, then please use the passkey ESL123. I am receiving word as well that we have, let's see, so Devon, so I believe that's from Destiny, have won out their semi-finals, so they'll be waiting in the grand finals themselves. For now though, I'll be waiting on an update from Citru or from one of the teams as to quite what's going on there. For now, let's get ourselves some Battle Royale action. As said, this is very much an in-progress mode. There should be a lot of new bits and pieces coming in. This is just the bare bones version of the Battle Royale. But, honestly, I think it's relatively fun for what it is. Which is a very, very basic, currently very basic Battle Royale in the MC5 engine. So yes, if you guys join in, please do throw out a YOLO in the chat, just to let me know that you are from the stream, so that when you come and kill me, it's just that much more personal. So we will await our next ESL encounter. And, ooh, hello. Mysterious disappearing walls. So you may be familiar with this from other Battle Royale games. There's, you know, when you're playing on a sort of a mega map like you are here, there's always going to be assets kind of popping in. So let's see. Where has got less people? Aha, over here. I believe we're going to be the only person there. Hello, Gruff Gruff. So our Mob Crush giveaway remains in place for the time being. We'll be moving on to the finals, I suspect, relatively soon. Expecting to have ourselves a rematch of the semis, but I'm waiting for final confirmation that is or is not the case. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Well, that's definitely giving away where we are. Let's see if we can find something a little bit more long range. Aha! This will be the ticket. A nice rapid fire sniper rifle, good for someone who's got atrocious aim, which may or may not be lil ol' me. Got some hazard armor as well, so that's tier 2. Not too shabby at all. So we're doing quite well as far as ammo goes. Looking to see if we can find ourselves any old elf packs. A6. Alright, well that will attract probably quite a lot of attention, but we'll have to go up and see if they had anything worthwhile. As you can tell, I'm not very good at this game, but fortunately in Battle Royale, it's oftentimes... Yes, so they only really... Was that the person we killed? I don't think so. There we go. Alright, so they didn't really have too much or anything going on. But hey, we've certainly got a lot of ammo for our A6, so that's good news. Have we been through here already? I think so. Alright, so we better start making a little bit of a move in. We're kind of just in the first zone, so it's not going to come in very quickly, nor is it going to do very much damage. We haven't really got any health packs, which are a big deal to not have. Hunter making fun of my aim. Hey man. I mean, you're not wrong. I probably need to be changing to my more short-range weapon while I'm running around. Tier 1 armor, not really what we're looking for. A lot of the same sniper rifles around. So, recent additions to the Battle Royale mode. I should switch to a sniper now. Being the addition of different types of grenades. So, I know there's a lot more to come, though. I know people were asking about Oh, is this the E24 SASR? I have to admit, I only really know the guns that come up in ESL competition, which tend to just be the tier 6, tier 7, so my knowledge of the individual smaller weapons, or, like, lower tier weapons, tends to be pretty spotty at best, just because it doesn't come up very often. But, Hunter, you would know a lot better than I would. So we're going across some extremely exposed terrain. There is a friend, or a potential friend, over here. I'm really hoping we can kill someone and take some health packs, because not having health packs is a real big disadvantage. There is no automatic healing in this mode, so if we get tagged by anyone, and that's a reasonably good chance that we will, we're going to be in a whole world of hurt. I think everyone may have gotten here ahead of us as well. Yep, the pantry, larder, is bare. Maybe there's something over here. I think it's extremely unlikely anyone's left any health packs lying around, but let's have a look anyway, just in case. I got some flash grenades, more than I expected. Let's swap out for a better sniper rifle. So, actually quite a lot more rewarding than it is. Than I was expecting it to be. Still no health packs, but proximity mine's pretty good. Oh man. Nothing else doing. Okay, so we're going to have to move down towards... This is probably not an entirely looted area, because there's a lot of stuff here. I might have to go a little bit further in, though. Yes, spawning... Oh, gosh. Spawning near a beacon is a smart thing, though it does require you to probably get into an early fight, which I'm not sure I'm necessarily up for, given you've seen how well I aim. One of the things I do like about Battle Royale style games is there's a lot of strategy in how you play it, as opposed to just raw mechanical skill, which is why I don't tend to play a lot on the, other circumstances, because I just get smashed by other people who have much better mechanics than I do. But in this, you can kind of set yourself up with a situation where you're, in a good spot. So I think we're probably not going to be able to loot anything at all ever again. But, force of habit. Also gives us something to do. Kill a little bit of time while we wait for the end to come. Nothing over there. I think we're going to have to maybe try and loot the fort itself to go after some health packs, which... Oh, no, never mind. Well, there we go. You're correct. E24 SASR. Getting sniped from long range fried chainsaw. Hey, Italy MC5. Welcome back to the stream, remember you from before, with your sparkly hearts. So yes, the E24, pretty good sniper rifle. Yes, okay, so the yes, I think there's usually, you can kind of see on the map at the moment these various air beacons, so if they're orange, they've been tapped, and you can see the one by Harbour did not even get activated, so that will give you a whole bunch of extra stuff, but it will notify everyone else that it is near. Aldo Vasquez, why is it 3 versus 7 in MC5? I've never seen that happen. I don't think you can even have 7 people on a team. But if that is happening, definitely get in touch with Game Loss support, because that's very weird. You can see here that the circle is closing in, and now we're in the later parts of the game. That blue is going to be hurting that much more effectively. I think, honestly, as it turned out, because you can get sniped off with the tier 2 armor in one shot, apparently, from the E24, even if we had health packs, it wouldn't have made too much of a difference. Though I think we took a little bit of damage. At least Chainsaw looks like they're in a pretty good position to potentially win, with just 5 left alive. I'm going to check in while we're doing this. And see how it goes. Chainsaw. Ooh, dropping down to Benj. Ah, right. Okay, well that's interesting. I wonder what happened when someone we were watching gets killed. I think it switches across to Benj, so it hasn't changed the name display, but this is a different player. Down to the final two. I'm not sure where we've lost sound. But again, this is super early. So you don't... A lot of the time, companies don't tend to release sort of the test versions of the game to public, because there's lots of things that will just be wonky about it, but won't be broken enough to really merit not releasing it at all. So Benj is doing a really good job here. This is something you'll see from experienced Battle Royale players do. They get to the very edge of the zone and hide behind a tree, which means they are almost certainly not going to get flanked by somebody else this late into the game, because anyone who's in the blue is going to die really quickly. But yeah, this is showing Benj as an experienced player. They don't know where the opposition is at the moment, but I think they're not. No, they're on the far edge of the circle. So there's a lot of tactics involving where you are in the circle. So we can see Benj is kind of navigating around the edge of it to try and stay away as from potential trouble. But you know, this circle is going to close in. Time will run out, and it's looking like yes, I think they've actually just got the basic assault rifle for Benj, which is not a good one. It was the 1v1. The run across, but the circle has closed down to a minimum. And, I mean, so many Battle Royales end this way with two people hiding behind trees, running out of resources. You can see the 78% health. It's going to come down to one last fight. And, unfortunately, we don't really have the best angle to be able to see from. Oh, we can change the camera. Excellent. We can't scroll up and down, though. But we can look deep into the eyes of Benj. Let's say look up the hill. Dancing around. And, yeah, there we go. Oh, it was Zip Zap. Never mind. I've been saying the wrong person's name the whole time. Hoo-ha! We got to number 9. Not too bad. I think what we'll do, because apparently we've the situation from the semi-finals is still being resolved at the moment, is we'll run through another one. I felt like we did pretty... Did we do pretty okay? No, actually we didn't do very okay. We got to number 9 out of 45, which is alright. So if any of you guys want to play on stream, in this Battle Royale mode, we'll give it another try and see if we can do a little bit better. I think Big Gorilla has been going around and secretly saving me repeatedly, and I end up shooting him every time, so I feel a little bit bad about that. Whew. So yes, if you want to play on stream, you join the Battle Royale right now, because hopefully we can all get into the same game as one another. I believe that the player limit currently is 45, though we'll have to check that. Yes, I believe 45 is the max. But, I mean, that's started to change recently. I know that I've seen other Battle Royale games where going for the raw 100 people isn't really considered necessary, because, you know, you still get roughly the same gameplay with a smaller map and a smaller amount of people anyway. Hey! DKMP Darshan. Anyone love you? Well, I've not come across you before that I'm remembering. But nice to see you. Alright, we're going to go for the harbour, which will be a pretty high traffic. Bleach, I believe that we will be getting into the Vol game as soon as we can. Just right now, that isn't possible. We are waiting on the beginning of that rematch of the second match. Alright, made a friend, killed them extremely quickly. They did not have very much of anything, so they should probably have just kept on running. That speed boost, I'm sure, is going to come in useful. So we probably want to pick up a better weapon at some point. Did we just run past someone? Alright, well, no one's activated the beacon, so here's some basic tactics. You don't run through the most exposed area possible, because you'll probably get dead. Got ourselves some armor. Oh, that was tier 3 armor? Wow. Alright, so we'll come at this from a slightly roundabout angle. It doesn't look like anyone else is interested in activating this beacon, and I think it's because it's so out of the way and also very, very exposed. So we'll scatter away, to make sure that we don't immediately get sniped off, and see if anyone else comes to the beacon, because this is a good chance to attract attention in a way that we can control. So other people are fighting at the moment, so let's go and grab this instead. Alright, we're in a good spot. We've basically got everything we need. You kind of just want to have, I think, as much in the way of health packs as possible, especially if you're going to get into fights with people. So 3 is good, but, you know, I would take as many as I could get. Let's see if we can find ourselves a friend. There's definitely someone fighting over on the hilltops over there. Whoops. Alright, well, the traditional sniper mantra is fire and move. So let's do that. Because everyone can tell where we were. That's a terrible thing for a sniper, because the sniper's field of view is so very small that if people know where you are, chances are they will approach you from an angle that you do not like. Now, we've already got through most of the people in this game already. Let's see if we can find any extra resources. None so far, but the high ground, generally a good place for a sniperoo to hang out. We'll always be listening very carefully for the sound of any approaching footsteps as well. Nothing so far. So we're probably looking for a close range weapon of some kind to replace what we've currently got, which is, I'm not even sure what this weapon is called offhand. But I think it's an okay assault rifle. Let's see. So we're in a pretty exposed area, so we've got trees we can hide behind, but those are not very good cover. We probably want to get out of this area as fast as we can and get into the fort and start trying to kill people in the face. Keep our eye on my Discord. Okay, so I'm going to have to leave this one because our next match is ready. This is kind of what we were hoping for. So guys, thank you for your patience. And we will be jumping into that Game 2 rematch between Sicko and the Victory of Lords team. So last time, if you remember, the Victory of Lords squad having a mass disconnect. We weren't quite sure what caused it. But we will have ourselves, hopefully, a full 5v5 rematch. The players are almost ready to get back into things. And we'll see who'll end up joining Destiny in our grand finals today. So thank you guys for your patience. We hope and expect, honestly, it to be fully rewarded as we rematch that Game 2 from the semi-finals between Sicko and Victory of Lords. So we will have a definitive winner. In hopefully just a few moments more. So guys, stay tuned. We shall return our semi-final rematch coming up next. Alright guys, so back onto overtime. Back for the contest between Sicko Mode and Victory of Lords. So forget everything you've seen before, because this is a new day. So Sicko Mode, with the 1 game advantage, came back in the game 1 to do extremely well. When in the last encounter on overtime, Victory of Lords stripped down to just 2 members. Did fight fiercely, but Sicko Mode showed something which not a lot of teams managed to pull off well, which is some extreme levels of coordination. At the moment though, the only thing extreme is the level of violence as both teams lay into each other with these heavy body blows, going kill for kill in the early going. I think some animosity starting to build between Sicko Mode and Victory of Lords as a result of that controversial last second match finish. Sicko taking the lead, only need to win this one game as Uno will be stalking these halls with the ERG sniper rifle, the replacement, or being used in place of the BSW because of its lack of hip fire nerf which came in to this patch, as the trade kills starting to go in the favour of Vol and the rest of the squad. Sosa trading back, Kevin dancing around Uno, good takedown on one of the top members of the French squad. Sicko Mode from the USA, Victory Lords from France. A quick look into the history of Sicko Mode. They have been around a fair chunk, to be fair. They lost out to Severe Red in the Red October finals just past, whereas Victory of Lords made it all the way through to the finals themselves. Destiny, the winners of that finals from yesterday, are awaiting in the finals of this tournament for whoever wins out in this series. Victory of Lords will have to win 2 games in a row. Kerry Gamer Simon, thank you for your support on the Battle Royale. I think it's just having a little bit more time to work with helps me, but my accuracy is garbo. Explosions rock over time as Sicko Mode attempt to make the comeback here, which of course characterized Game 1 as Victory of Lords were ahead forever and a day. But ultimately, Sicko Mode made a fantastic comeback. We need to see more of the same from them if they want to take down our very highly regarded French team, Victory of Lords. Airstrikes coming through the confined corridors of overtime, making it hard to avoid those earth-shattering kabooms. And the Victory of Lords team are looking to try and get as many of those kill streaks in as they can to put this one to bed early and force us through to a 3rd game. Even trades characterizing the end section of this match, as we're nowhere near the end as far as time goes, but Victory of Lords pulling out all the stops to put Sicko Mode in the ground. Airstrikes, bombing runs, all the characteristics of a game with bounty hunters in them because of their supreme access to those kill streaks. Darren gets 3, but Victory of Lords, it doesn't matter, they're so far ahead that they will equalize, and we will see a 3rd, well technically a 4th, encounter between these two. Let's take a look at how those numbers played out. So Uno, as we've seen again and again, performing extremely well for the Vol team, but also, my finger micro is terrible. Fancy putting on a very strong performance. Chete for the side of Sicko Mode actually did extremely well as well, but ultimately was a pretty decisive encounter for the Victory of Lords team. For now though, guys, we will be headed to break as Game 3, the decider of who will be joining Destiny in our Grand Finals today, coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, gentle friends. The decider between Sicko Mode and Victory of Lords has arrived. The museum will bear mute witness to the conclusion of a controversial and a brutal best of three between two teams who have, I think, made quite the impression here today. May and Fancy starting things off well for the French squad. Fancy rocking the red, I believe, rifle there. Don't see that one too often. Italy, MC5 thinking Vol are not going to win, which I think could easily go either way. Victory of Lords certainly starting things off relatively well, as Uno so far, I say untouched, took a lot of damage but did not pay the price for it. Darren, with a series of good grenade tosses there, keeps Sicko Mode in circulation. But it's looking like it is extremely close. Let's see. So Chete, we remember from last time round, was the strongest member of the Sicko Mode lineup in the museum, not with the same success as of yet. We know that potential is there. Hunter found out the red 34 that we've been seeing in circulation a little bit in this game. We'll see if it stays there long term, as Kevin gets a nice pick off onto Uno. A bounty hunter rewarded so far. So, Victory of Lords lost out to Destiny, our other team in the Grand Finals, yesterday. So, I'm certain looking for a little bit of revenge. But Sicko Mode could be the new contenders to take it to Destiny, where the Victory of Lords squad have not been able to. Uno with a nice bit of bombing run there. We'll be able to strip away some points for the Victory of Lords team, but you can see there the bombers coming overhead. That last exchange, thanks again to Uno, who is going off real big for the Victory of Lords squad, will keep things dead even. Kevin firing back in kind as the rest of the squads scramble across the museum map trying to find each other. Chete finds Uno, manages to get the takedown. The dangers of being off by yourself, being that you do not have anyone to punish those melee kills. Cheeto gets tagged, immediately turns around, goes the other way. A smart decision, I think, to stay out of trouble. And one of the uses of the grenades to just keep the opposition away. But a nice flankaroonie coming in from Sicko Mode keeps them competitively and stops any thoughts of regen. Cheeto from range picks up a couple of kills there. And that last fight going heavily in the French Victory of Lords team's favour. Bringing up their unit coherency a little bit. Can be punished by the bombing runs if you're too close by. Kevin gets one, but Fancy trades back straight away. Uno, the best performing member, but Fancy close behind. As Victory of Lords try and lock this one down. Uno does get taken out, but Fancy still lurking in the shadows. Sosa coming from the side, the fight around Big Head surprisingly does turn out pretty well for the Sicko team. Even with a numbers disadvantage, they traded very, very well. And so we come back to memories of game number 1. Victory of Lords ahead. Sicko Mode so close behind, but one good team fight, one good trade could turn it. Victory of Lords stumbled at the finish line in game number 1, but will they do it again? Darren charges down the stairs. The Cobra struck down, but Sosa keeps the fight alive. Cheetah with a beautiful double airstrike puts things beyond doubt. Victory of Lords will go to the finals, and they will face off in a rematch from the monthly finals against Destiny. Now in the Destiny X lineup rather than Destiny Red, but it's mostly the same players. Gonna be pretty brutal and a fantastic way to end out the Red December Cup number 2. For now though, guys, stay tuned. Our YouTube giveaway will open up in just a second. Enter in hashtag funnels if you want to get in on that. Victory of Lords, Advance, Sicko Mode, played incredibly well, but not quite well enough today. Nightbot, I will call upon your powers to bring us all the best giveaway action. For now though guys, stay tuned, we shall return our finals in just a few moments more. Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. I think we've got a little bit of a delay with the start of our grand finals, so while we wait for all of those ducks to get themselves in a row, I'm going to set ourselves up with a free-for-all on the museum. So if you'd like to come and play on stream while we just kill a little bit of time hanging out with one another, then please do make your way across ESL 123, that contraseña or that passkey. ESL 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Is that right? I don't know. I can't count in any language. Blah. Maybe some of you guys can set me straight on that one. Yes, we probably won't get to the end of this particular free-for-all, but, you know, it'll help kill a little bit of time while we look to move ourselves forward. So, Destiny X versus Victory of Lords, I believe, will be our grand final based on what we saw before. It's quite possible that the Citro admin will have to have some discussions given how that last series was a certainly more unusual layout than we might have otherwise expected. Hero Gaming Simon, quack quack. I hope you all have got yourself plenty of delicious water, because I sure do. You can't take like a duck to water unless you've got some water to take to. Oh, well, actually, never mind all this, because we've actually got the pass key for our first finals game. So it will be Destiny X versus Victory of Lords in something of a rematch from our monthly finals just past. Now in that monthly finals, Victory of Lords came out the worst. Losing out that finals, so a chance at revenge here to show that Destiny are not unstoppable will, I'm sure, be leapt upon with great enthusiasm by the French squad. Destiny have been around forever. Honestly, just as the Victory of Lords squad has, under various different guises. We'll get into lobby. And there we are, the players will gather themselves ready, their weapons, their loadouts, their opportunity for 100 euros, and for Vol, the chance at revenge. For Destiny, a chance to cement their reputation as the top team of this particular side of the tournament. The red teams, the blue teams, it all comes down to this. Our grand finals will begin shortly. Welcome back one and all, our grand finals are here. Destiny versus Victory of Lords, a rematch of the monthly clash from yesterday. Will Victory of Lords change things around? Certainly we've got fans of Asta in this game. Is Asta playing today? Yeah, there we are, we're actually watching Asta at the moment. I was looking everywhere else but right in front of my nose. So, Italy from the chat, a big fan of Asta, as the early exchange of gunfire leaves a pile of points in favour of the Victory of Lords squad. Uno, the cat-faced gremlin, doing very well with that ERG so far. And Italy gonna definitely double down. Oh, nice attempt there. And Sultan somehow survives that exchange. I would not have gone out of that door personally, but Sultan showing why they will be rising up to the top, or at least doing their very darnest. Diari with a less than stellar start to start with, immediately puts a lie to that word. The slack so powerful in this central part of the streets where it turns into corridor fighting, much like a lot of overtime, but very volatile, doesn't even really cover it. There's so much that happens so quickly here, and Destiny come out the best of that last exchange. Brutality heavies with the slack, with the shotgun, with a little bit of extra bullet resistance. Very potent at winning out the trades, which can go, back and forth by a very small amount of health. But we will, of course, keep our eyes on the crowd favourite Asta, but not if Fancy kills them. Uno keeping up a strong performance, does go into very close range and eventually falls down. Destiny starting to seize the lead for themselves. It is going to be Diari and Devin with the top of the scoreboard. Devin going to rely on that old classic BSW. Classic for a reason, one shot, one kill. Of course, and it is Christmas time as you guys are singing Christmas songs in chat, and hey, who can blame ya? It's not a million miles away by any means. For Destiny, they've managed to build themselves up a little bit more. Uno trying to go ham into the innards. Goes a little bit wild with that slack there, but good shotgun work. Even with the very small capacity on that shotgun. Very, very powerful if you can hit both shots before that reload forces you out of immediate combat. Revenge dropping out. And the Victory of Lords having some connection issues here. Not what you want to be seeing when you're in a grand finals and it's just this close. Team captain's dress with a decent performance, but it's actually Cheeto who's leading the pack at the moment. As Fancy goes charging in, and Cheeto gets a second as well. Destiny stay in the lead thanks to Devin doing a real nice job with that BSW from long range. will be looking to punish as much as they can. Fancy takes themselves out as well. A disaster for the French squad, as Destiny, representing Switzerland, are still trading, but more than happy to trade 1-for-1 all the way up to the end of this game and be extremely happy about it. Here's the bracket for people who are asking, want to see how this one has come to this point. We are in the grand finals now, so this will be our final series. A best of 5 to determine our winner. Two extremely motivated teams looking to try and cement their legacy as Destiny X are, or try and rewrite history, as Victory of Lords are attempting here. But it doesn't seem like so far it's going to happen. Victory Lords need to win 2 fights in a row. Uno in close quarters, throwing a grenade does lower your weapon for just a moment, and that can allow for Destiny to rush in if their timing is right. Explosions enveloping the center of the map as Stress gets one, but Diari trades back, and a further kill from Devon puts this game out of reach of Victory of Lords, and Destiny take the initial advantage. Nicely done. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Diari, who got that final kill through, and Devon, Diari and Devon, both with exactly the same scores as one another. I suspect Diari maybe got a few more assists in. Certainly the standout players, Stress and Cheeto doing well, but Uno can see taking a lot of deaths, as did Fancy, both very powerful players. We'll have to see what happens as we go into the second encounter, coming up after the break. Welcome back one, welcome back all. Conversion, the site of our next clash between these two titans of Modern Combat 5 esports. Destiny with that game 1 win. Victory of Lords going to start to feel the pressure. But can they erase history? Or will it all be the same result over again? Victory of Lords certainly getting the first kill through. Not a bad way to start things off. But Destiny sees back momentum thanks to some nice sniper work from Devin. Have a quick check through exactly how that last encounter between the two teams played out. I believe, yes, it was a 3-2 victory in the monthly finals just passed for Destiny versus Victory Lords. So these are two teams that, are very closely aligned skill-wise with one another. On a given day, a given game, a given moment, a heartbeat that passes can change everything. One exchange very early on in the game could be a determining factor for the rest, as Uno goes up the stairs, somehow survives for a few seconds against 3 different Destiny members, but can't disengage in time. So the importance, again, of this is something we picked up while we were in the Battle Royale. It's not, as in all kind of games like this, it's not just about having the fastest fingers or the highest accuracy. It's about knowing what your opponent is doing as best as possible. So, you have someone who's at the back of the team actively scouting rather than fighting. That can be a worthwhile thing for a team to do. As Umari catches Victory of Lords trying to transition between areas. Always a good thing to do when the opponent has got their attention diverted across navigating between terrain. They cannot commit full resources mentally to making sure they don't get shot in the face. Destiny doing a pretty good job of abusing that so far. Devin X with a good even 5-5 record. Team Captain Stress performing the best for the Victory of Lords teams so far. Do bear in mind, guys, the YouTube giveaway is live. Hashtag funnels into the YouTube chat if you want to enter in, as Uno does some nice work, has been on point with these kill streaks so far. And we'll need to get some more kills to keep the good times a-rolling. Taking down Suthi, a good start. That will, of course, pick up the weapon and open up the opportunities. Can't see exactly how much Diamond Dust Uno has, but we'll see if we can have that change in the future. Nice exchange there for Destiny, and crowd favourite Asta cut down by Stress in that last exchange. Takes down Umari as well to keep Victory of Lords alive. Italy, oh, you're the one who taught Asta. Well, there you go, the student becoming the master. Well, that's wonderful. That's another reason why we have these tournaments, is to have that community there and give people the context that they need to be able to show off their development as players. And honestly, that's when you're teaching someone something, I think on some level you've got to hope that you'll do such a good job of teaching them that you'll inspire the desire to keep getting better, and eventually they will surpass you. Of course, when you're out here on the battlefield, the teams will be dancing backwards and forwards on the standings with each other all day long. Right now, Destiny seem to be up at the top, but Victory of Lords, another team who've been used to riding high on the table, so close behind them. One advantage fight could put Victory Lords back into the lead. Going down 2-0 at the end of the second game would be devastating for the French team's morale. Well, we'll have to see. It's all coming down now to these last few kills. Victory of Lords do equalise and take the lead thanks to a nice triple from the team there, moving forward as a unit, looking to try and put Destiny away. Diari trades across with Stress, but Uno picks off the kill on the backside, makes that a second. Victory of Lords may have done enough, as Umari taken out as well. Destiny's line crumbling in the face of the aggression, but no, turns it back around. Devin slamming back in with a kill to bring things back to almost parity. Airstrike goes wide. Victory Lords still ahead. Will they back off, or will they try and finish the job? Uno trades across. Trade kill perfect for Victory Lords, but no, Fountain gets an untraded kill. Will they go back through? Won't need to, because May takes a kill off the tail end, and Victory of Lords have equalized in our grand finals. Let's take a look at those numbers. So, Stress, definitely the standout player of that last game. 13 kills, 5 deaths. Incredible stuff. You can see has the highest score in the game as well. So, impressive stuff. Just let Citru know what's going down. So, Team Captain Stress putting on a strong performance there. But we still have at least 2 more games to go. Hopefully, we'll get the full best of 5 as we did in the monthly finals. But there's only one way to find out. We will go to break. When we return, the scales will tip towards Destiny or the Lords. In Game 3 coming up after the break. Welcome back, gentle friends, one and all. Thanks to a very strong performance from Stress, team captain of Victory of Lords in Game 2. This Game 3 in overtime, which could have been a victory celebration for Destiny, now leaves us in a situation where either team could seize the momentum in this series for themselves and start building up a lead that could be difficult to deal with, as Uno and May get the double through, but Diari trades it back straight away, taking shelter down to 3% health, still able to provide a little bit of backup as Asta goes charging in, and the initial kill exchange is equalized slightly in the favor of the French squad, but Devin comes in with a real nice exchange there, keeps Destiny up and going for the time being. After this tournament has concluded, we will be back in just a couple of hours at 2100 UK time, which is in what we're coming up on, so a little over 2 hours, with our Blue October finals, which will be representing the other region of countries, flying off for the €500 prize pool. So lots more action to end out the weekend, Modern Combat 5 style, with all your top favourite teams. Victory Lords keeping their lead for the time being, but Asta, the living disaster, will get sniped out. Victory Lords look like they're trying to set up a defensive perimeter here. Devin continues to be a very strong sniping presence, an absurdly strong sniping presence in fact. Does get forced back there, going to throw out a little bit of grenades to buy them time to gather themselves, as Victory Lords drop a player. Could be a major issue, especially for holding the line. Coming from the back though will be May, finds their way into Devin, catches them off guard. Does get traded back immediately, but still, that 1-for-1 trade, good for Victory Lords to keep Devin off the field. But Diari looking to get much closer and personal with the heavy class. Will go in. Suthi takes down Stress, while Uno trades across. Destiny now into the lead for themselves, coming out ahead of these trades very slightly, but slightly is all it's going to take to keep themselves even that one kill ahead. Uno, though, I think dropped a grenade across, immediately gets traded back on, and the revenge returns. Will they live up to their name? Perhaps stymied by some connection issues there. Victory Lords now back up to full strength and in the lead. Exactly what we expect from our top tier teams. This game going down to a single kill difference between the two. Last exchange keeps Victory of Lords on top, but Destiny looking for that one good fight. We can see them swarming here as a unit. Diari, I think, doing a floor bang there on Stress, realizing they were just above and firing that slack into the floor to get that AoE through. Sahan Gaming reckons that Roxas is going to be winning the blue finals. That's certainly a fair shout. Roxas certainly have been very powerful at the moment and will be coming in to our grand finals for the blue side of things as #1 seed. So glad you guys are anticipating that monthly finals. Should be a lot of fun. But right now, it's all about Destiny and Victory of Lords, two top-tier red region teams going toe-to-toe, tooth and claw into one another. Destiny, moving as a unit, can overwhelm the individual skill of the Victory of Lords players. And Devin, the devil themselves, finally put down, but before they did, doing so much damage to the French lineup, playing in red. Suthi continues to look strong as Imri picks up yet another Victory of Lords. I think they may have given up too many kills to come back into this one, but Revenge will at least try and send as much of a message as Destiny are willing to receive. But the bottom line is, Destiny got 2-1 in this grand finals and only need a single victory more to make themselves our champions. Alright guys, stay tuned. Our YouTube giveaway will conclude once this finals has been decided, and that could well be at the end of this next game unless Victory of Lords mount a comeback. We shall find out how this will play out, and as I said, in 2 hours and changes time, we will be back with the monthly finals as well. So loads of Modern Combat 5 This is the best place to stay it, so stay tuned and we'll be back soon. Bienvenido a todos, welcome back everyone. Destiny and the Victory of Lords Battle Squad go at each other once more. Destiny has a chance to put this grand finals to bed and cement their victory at the monthly finals. Some teams, they go from winning the monthly finals and proving that they are the best team to then immediately losing the following week because they've kind of, it's taken some of the hunger out of the lineup to know that you've reached the top of the heap. Doesn't seem to be the malaise affecting Destiny this time round though, as they've still put out a fantastic performance, picking up a couple of early kills on the Victory of Lords squad. Devon, you remember from last time round, doing extremely well, but a nice counter snipe from May, enough to keep them off the board at least for now. Uno trades across. Definitely one of the maps we need to keep the map open as much as possible, because there's a lot of strategic movement possible on the scramble map. See Fancy trying to go for a flank round, doesn't realise that Umari was there trying for exactly the same thing. You can see popping across on the map. The Victory of Lords squad winning out quite handily in that last set of trades. Actually pulling themselves into the lead despite a little bit of a rough start. Miyu, welcome to the stream. Destiny es bueno. Well, they're certainly doing pretty darn well so far. Slightly different membership of the Destiny X team from the Destiny Red team who won the monthly finals, but close enough I'm prepared to acknowledge them as a single entity. I think it's only a change of 1 or 2 players. And of course, with all of these higher tier teams having pretty deep rosters, that's not enough to kind of to call them a different entity. Big Gorilla, yes, the Destiny have done very well. Victory of Lords gonna have to try and curb the enthusiasm of the Destiny team as Fancy goes 1v2, will fall victim to a melee attack because of the tier 3 armor not allowing everybody to take that anti-melee core, the neck guard. You see a lot more melee kills than you would perhaps otherwise be used to. Miyu saying, Darren, my kid that I throw away because he's a nub. Well, guys, I'm a big fan of the Banterinos, but Victory of Lords, certainly you're going to be very big fans as far as they can be of holding on to this lead. It's not a big lead, and Devon has been playing extraordinarily well in this finals series so far. So it's anything but a guarantee that Victory Lords will hang on and see their way through to a 5th game. Miyu, Volt has fallen and Destiny has risen again. Well, that is the ebb and flow of the tide at the top of the ASL Modern Combat 5 esports scene. Teams rarely stay up there forever. And we see a transition as new strategies come in, crush the old strategies. The meta evolves constantly. Let's go and check in with Italy's favourite, Protege Asta. Apparently having some connection issues at the moment, which is a real shame in such an important environment. Victory Lords, oh boy, win out that trade big time and start to take a convincing lead. Destiny going to have to go back to the drawing board. Their current strategy of lurking within the hangars not working out so well, because Victory of Lords can just wait outside with Destiny on the back foot, forced to try and pick up kills somewhere. Risk starts to rise and the jaws of defeat start to close around the neck of the Destiny side, even with all the momentum from their win last game and the monthly title being secured. Victory of Lords would love to shove it in the face of Destiny that they could not get it done twice in a row. Devin, though, continues to be a bright point, but Uno doing fantastically in this game so far. 10 and 5, real big numbers. And those numbers are starting to add up, starting to weigh down Destiny like an anchor. However, despite my cruel words to the contrary, Destiny are still fighting with everything they have. Shaddix trading kills across there as the EMP drops down. Team Captain Stress picks up one. Not the most impressive performance from the Victory Lords team captain or from the various games we've seen them playing in, but still solid enough for the time being. Bosk surprisingly effective at range, and Stress with a pistol kill across the divide between these two teams. Manages to take out Asta as well, and Fancy gets another Victory Lords looking to crest over that 40 kill mark as May dances between the raindrops. Of course, in this case, those raindrops are high explosive rounds and grenades. Victory Lords now over that 40. Fancy taking out Devon, and as Asta tries to charge in with Shaddix to get a couple of kills back, the EMP will drop, and the Victory of Lords team will have the superior engagement situation. Now Destiny will not be able to see the Victory Lords team coming. So smart of Destiny to try and play as reductively as possible, to just play in this central area where the lack of map while this EMP is running will not affect them as badly as it would be otherwise. Cheeto with another airstrike. 30 seconds left to play. Victory of Lords may well have done enough to force a game at 5 from our finals here today. Could we be seeing a repeat or reverse of the monthly finals where Destiny won out 3-2? Certainly the chances of a 3-1 seem to be evaporating before our very eyes, as Vol put on a commanding performance in this game. For Game 5 beckons. Who shall proceed? Certainly, the finals will continue, but only one of these two teams can take home the weekly title. Will it be Destiny? Will it be Victory of Lords? Scramble belongs to the French squad, but there's still another game to go. YouTube giveaway will persist until the end of this next game, so get your hashtag finals in there while you can. Fancy looking the best out of all the people playing in that last game, so good stuff on them. But Uno picking up a good number as well. We'll have to see how the rest of the squads, the rest of the players go. Devon did fantastically, highest score in the game, but also the highest deaths. Will need to be corrected for the 5th game, coming up in just a few minutes more. Welcome back. Our finals ends here. Vantage will be the Crucible, from which one team, Destiny or Victory of Lords, shall emerge as our weekly champions. Revenge on the mind of the French squad. For Destiny, a chance to cement their reputation with another hard-fought victory over the Victory of Lords of Stress. Switching across to the Assault class, not a common class to see them on. And we can already see Victory of Lords bringing out Commanders as well, looking to mix things up as the first 2 kills fall into the hands of the French team. Let's examine the strategies here. We've got Devin. Most kills, most deaths from the last time round, sneaking around the side. You can see on the map that I don't believe any of the Victory of Lords players are watching for a flank attempt. So Devin, while they are running down the clock a little bit by going around cautiously, they've got to take advantage of that momentary confusion. In fact, with several members coming in, there's the chance being taken and being driven through. Victory of Lords, the flank working out for Destiny, do at least respond with a kill of their own. But Destiny timed that one out very well. There's only a very small window of opportunity when the opposition get first shot at. They will immediately turn around and start returning fire. So even with a flank, if you can't hit them from 2 sides, then you've just got to hit them on the flank extremely hard so that they're all dead and can't respond. Much harder to do when you're 1 versus 2, but if you bring 3 people to the party, a lot more viable. However, Uno and the rest of Victory of Lords have managed to stabilize after that bold strategic play, and are more than happy to keep on trading as Uno dives into the inside there, a little garage being peppered with bullets. As Uno expands out onto the main map, No decides to fall back to the rest of the squad. Recon aircraft up in the sky will be giving that extra bit of intel to spot out a future flank attempt from the rest of the Destiny team. As Diari goes down extremely low, but with the power of the weapons in play, can still put down stress with a grenade right to the mush. Victory of Lords in control for the time being as Diari tries to go in for a flank, finds it successfully. A good illustration of how important it is to have someone covering your back. As Yumari does exactly that for Diari. Won't give them invincibility for forever, but it means those trades so much more easy to push into your favour. Devin, still doing well in this game, but the Victory of Lords team remains ahead for now. Uno, the one to watch on the recon this time round. Certainly very powerful in close quarters as Devin just eschews. Excuse? I don't even know how to say that word. I have to look it up. Even firing to instead go for the melee kill. Heavy trading as Devin continues to be a centerpiece of the action for Destiny. We'll be charging in, showing no fear of the wall of explosions, switching to the backup weapon, and even on 5% health, staying active, not backing off from the combat, but instead charging forward. Can be risky if you run into some Victory of Lords bullets, but when there's so much on the line here, this is the difference of €100 based on this single game of Modern Combat 5. Whoever wins out here, whichever team, will take home that €100 for themselves and have themselves a very good evening. And whoever loses will get nothing, at least monetarily. Seeding points for the monthly finals will be very good for either of these teams, of course, but the immediate material rewards, as well as bragging rights, what's most on their mind rather than the monthly finals, which this is a qualifier for. Uno doing some real nice work with the Golden Bosk. Lights up the path for Victory of Lords as Uno runs into and takes down Diari. Manages to find the backside of the fight again as Yumari doing a nice job of getting some eliminations, but also takes themselves out in the process. Charge in from Uno, another big pickup, puts Victory Lords very close to winning this one out. One more kill is going to do it. Destiny behind by 10. And Victory Lords charging up. Umri refuses to die. But Uno will finish the job. Victory of Lords avenge their loss at the monthly finals yesterday. They take the weekly #1 and take down Destiny. These two teams clashing at the top of the table. Honestly, they can keep on doing it for as long as they like because they're giving us fantastic matches while they're doing it. Erebito Simon on YouTube will be our giveaway winner. So Erebito Simon, hopefully you are still around to make yourself known, and please put your dog tag and your platform into the comments. Let's just take a quick look. So yes, Uno doing fantastically, definitely the standout player from that last game. So guys, please do come back in slightly under 2 hours for the monthly finals to end out today's proceedings. We will throw up one more custom game in case Erebito Simon isn't here because we may need to redraw. So, if you guys want to get in on that, as always, ESL123. Erebito Simon is here. Okay. So I'll let Citru know. In that case, we won't need to run another custom game because of Erebito hopefully being able to get their details across fairly quick. So, instead, I shall take this time to go and prepare for the monthly finals, which will be coming up a little later on. Cage, is Golden Bus coming again in the black market? I'm not sure. I'd maybe get in touch with Game Loss Support. They should be able to tell you the answer to that kind of question. An alternate hunter. Apparently, Devon plays with handcam. Nice. Yeah, well, Devon did extremely well, but I don't think there was any question of that skill being authentic or not. Quint Go Crazy. Oh, well, I'm glad to have you drop by the stream. If you'd like to find other MC5 players, do head across to the Modern Combat 5 ESL Discord. You can find loads of people there who play, and also be able to get yourself into a team to play in an ESL competition yourself. It's completely free to enter, so there's very little reason not to. Okay, so Erebito Simon, thank you for your details. That will be the end of this particular tournament, but not of this evening's Modern Combat 5 action. Come back in 2 hours and 40 minutes for our last tournament of the weekend. That will be the blue... actually, let me just double check that. Yes, the Blue October Finals at 2100 UK time. So 1 hour and 40 minutes from now. I've been Peter Counterfeit Hartnell. You can find me at CounterfeitCast on Twitter. And if you haven't already, please do give Modern Combat a follow on any platform you happen to be watching it. Makes them very happy. Give the video some likes, all that good stuff that keeps this thing going. For now though, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll hopefully catch you a little later on this evening to close out the big weekend of Modern Combat 5.